This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. Before we jump into another Strixhaven draft, I want to remind everyone that my content is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by clicking on the link in the description below on YouTube or the logo below on Twitch if you do. It'll use my referral link and you'll visit their store and you can see they have Strixhaven for sale. Pretty soon Modern Horizons 2 will also be available for pre-order, so check them out. Okay, well, pretty easy Dragon's Guard Elite. It's kind of 2-drop that can win the game pretty handily, so it's very, very good. Gift of Estates, you know, cool, and not terrible even, but not really a first pickable one of these. Maelstrom Muse is great in the Izzet deck and the Prismari deck. It's quite good, but yeah, Dragon's Guard Elite's great. Crazy good 2-drop. You know, it is awesome. Okay, so interesting pick here. So Green-White's not really a deck, but Combat Professor and Dragon's Guard Elite do go well together just as generally aggressive creatures. We've also got Environmental Sciences, which is a nice lesson that helps you set up splashes. Like, it's real easy to splash with it. Because every single card you have with Learn is suddenly fixing. So you can run like one basic land and have one of these in your sideboard and like 4 cards with Learn. And you have amazing fixing for your 1 splash card. So it's really sweet for those sorts of things. And you find yourself wanting to splash something reasonably often. So, you know, Combat Professor's good, Field Trip's good, Environmental Science is good. Guiding Voice is quite good too, but I think it's like a rung below these guys. I should probably not take the Professor. I mean, I can sort of stay open, but I think I'll take the Sciences here. It's good enough to take with an early pick, as weird as that is. It's kind of like Snow Duels, you know? Who thought you'd be taking those early? Probably take Kelpie Guide here. Blue-green is a deck, you know, and it's the Quandrix ramp deck. And Kelpie Guide's good at ramping, and then in the late game, can lock down whatever creature you need it to. It's a really good card. Yeah, it's what we take here. Biblioplex is nice. It's not quite as good as the other rare land, you know, but the one that lets you put counters on things and filters mana is better, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, we'll take Kelpie Guide here. Thank you for the sub, Chris. Okay, this pack has some really good black stuff in it. All 3 of these are black cards you play basically every copy of you get. You know, maybe you don't go above 3 Mage Hunter's Onslaughts. It is a little clunky, but it is still really good. So I think we're taking one of them. You know, the green card and blue card, both singular, in this pack are not especially good. So, you know, I think probably Onslaught is better than these two. It's a good enough removal spell. But those are both pretty good cards. Okay. Deadly Brew hasn't been too bad. Stormkiln Artist is quite good at enabling like a blue-red Prismari deck. So that's cool. Again, the green card and the blue cards in this pack aren't great. You know, Pop Quiz is fine. I do sort of feel like the Artist is probably better. You know, helps you fix. It is on color, I guess, Pop Quiz is with their Kelpie Guide for what that's worth. And it's not like Pop Quiz is terrible. I mean, you know, it's basically divination, instant speed divination, which is not a bad thing at all. Yeah. I'm going to take the Artist. We'll see what happens there. Look, we've taken a card of every color so far. All right, we're going to grab Burying Books here. It's been great. I'm very happy to take it here. This is a pretty good lesson, incidentally, but I like Burying Books more. Okay, so we've got some fixing here if we wanted it. Campus Guide's not bad. Leyline Invocation, not a terrible thing to ramp into. It's been kind of a surprise. And it's probably what I'm going to take here. I mean, fixing is nice and all, but we do already have an Environmental Sciences. And most of the time you splash in this set. Sometimes you go deeper than that, especially if you're blue-red base, but I think we'll take the Invocation here as like a win condition. Okay, so Biograph's all right, but I think we just take the Summoning. It's a nice lesson to have around. We don't have any lessons yet, I don't believe. Oh, we have the environmental sciences, of course. What's up, Strangelove? Okay, Biomathematician this late is good. I like Vortex Runner, but I think the Mathematician's better. It does look like blue-green's open because all 4 of these are very playable cards. I like Biomathematician the most of them, but I wouldn't mind any of them. Yeah, so right now, it definitely looks like blue-green is the right lane to be in, but we'll see what happens here. Some decent stuff here. You know, Teach by Example is a nice little combo card sometimes when you can make it work, but I don't think we want it right now. I'll probably just take the Lesson. It's a good one. I mean, it's not a great one, but you can set it up as a removal spell more often than you might think. Like if you get a creature down to... If you do any damage to a creature in combat or whatever, and then use this to make it a 1/1, it dies. So it's a little more useful than it looks. It's also free, and that, you know, matters. Biblioplex Assistant's okay. This is actually a decent lesson, and chances are decent. You know, we'll be able to play it if we want to. I guess I'll take the assistant here, but I'm not, like, thrilled about it. Another decent lesson here. Probably just grab the letter, though. If we're going to be a ramp deck, it's probably what we want. Befuddler's not terrible. Ooh, Demonic Tutor, huh? That is spicy. It is tricky to, like, splash. But, yeah. You don't really want to be splashing a tutor. Dreamstrix is really good. Killian's also really good. Pack one, pick one, I think it would be the tutor. I think it's strong enough at tutoring up whatever your best card is, but I'm not sure it's what we do here. That said, it is worth remembering that I think we just get straight up 60 gems for this because it's banned in Historic. And that is some actual value, and in the event that we can play it, it will be a good card. And, you know, making sure you can go infinite and have gems is important. So it's not the worst pick ever to take the tutor. Giving up the Dreamstrix hurts a little bit, but I think it's what we're going to do here. We're still not really locked in on anything either. Well, okay. Now we get a Bookworm, and why are these all in the same pack? Cultivate, Bookworm, and Ecological Appreciation. They're all here. So, yeah. Maybe it's 40 gems, but either way. So probably Bookworm. It's like the best thing to ramp into. I like Ecological Appreciation okay, but it is harder to use. We'd love Cultivate. I doubt it's going to come back, but we can find more ramp, and we already have some anyway. So we're going to take Bookworm here. Speaking of more ramp, I think we take Kelpie Guide here over Professor of Zoomancy, especially now that we have a Bookworm to go along with our Invocation. So Kelpie Guide it is. Tendrils of Agony. That's a hard one to make work. That's for sure. Field Trip, I think, given the ramp direction we're going in. It's a nice card anyway. So, we can take Fractal Summoning. Amplimancer's okay. Archway Commons is okay. Probably just take Fractal Summoning, though. It's a good lesson. We had such a sweet Bookworm deck yesterday with 2 Bookworms, all the ramp we could imagine, and we started off so hot, 3-0, and then just went 3-3. So it's kind of rough. So Pest Summoning is good, but Biomathematicians do get significantly better in multiples, and I think the second Biomathematician is probably better than another lesson. We already have some good lessons, you know. If we didn't have any lessons, I might lean towards Pest Summoning, but we do. So we're going to take Biomathematician here. So, you know, we gave up a Strix for the tutor. It'll be interesting to see whether that was actually worth it. Because it does look like we're pretty locked into blue-green. We were less certain we would be, so I think, you know, the fact that it was possible that we could play it did matter. But, you know, it feels less possible now. So, you know, sometimes you can go 3 colors here, like straight-up Teamer. Right now, we don't really have the ability to do that very effectively. We do have 1 Environmental Sciences. So Spectacle Mage is interesting in a situation where that's what you're kind of thinking about doing. But I think Curate is fine, and it's probably what I'm going to take here. It's definitely not great, but it is fine. So I've seen this be reasonably good. It is kind of tricky and kind of awkward, though. You know, I've seen it be good, but I don't know how often it's in my opponent's hand doing very little, you know. I think the Aerialist seems okay here at the top of our curve. You know, well, not really at the top of our curve, but a more expensive creature to have early. Well, we'll grab a Teach by Example here, I guess, on the off chance we do find, you know, doubling Leyline Invocation isn't the worst, but it's not awesome either. We do have the Letter of Acceptance. I kind of forgot about that, but, you know. How are we doing on spells right now? Relatively well, probably not quite well enough for the curve. Intro to Prophecy is a good lesson, but I think we're probably just going to take the curve and see if we can, you know, if we do a little better on spells. We don't have to do a lot better, just a little better. It'll be pretty good. Yeah. All right, here we're just going to grab the Fixing. Right now, I don't think we're playing, but we could end up there. You know, right now, we do not feel like a Biblioplex Assistant deck to me. Or a Demonic Tutor deck. You know, I probably should have considered the Pennant a little more. It probably would have worked okay in this deck. I guess we'll take another Letter. I kind of doubt we play two, but we do have enough tokens that maybe I should have thought a little more about the Pennant. Okay. Yeah, we're doing well on fractals, so more biomathematicians the merrier, because I think here we're taking Emergent Sequence. We could splash Prismari Command, which isn't terrible, but I think Emergent Sequence is probably still going to be a little better for us. We do need more ways to interact. That would be good to pick some of those up in this pack, but I think we still take the Sequence. You know, it's just a really good card. It makes you a mana dork, basically. If you're splashing, it can help, even though it's a little dangerous to get a splash color with. But the ramp is what we're really interested in. And the fractal part matters, too, the way our deck looks right now. So we'll take the Sequence here. We'd like another Bookworm and like a Cultivate. You know, that would be pretty sweet. Man, this pack is stacked. You know, this is a really good lesson. This is a really good Dean. This is really good for the blue-red deck. Heated Debate's a great removal spell. I think we take the Cultivator because we're a ramp deck. But, yeah, there's a lot going on in this pack. I do think we want the Cultivator more. Maybe something will wheel, like this Pledge Mage or something. That would be cool. So... do I just pick up a Campus here? I kind of think I do. I mean, a second Mercurial Transformation isn't bad. Neither is Intro to Prophecy, but it's a little bit of fixing to make our mana a little better, and the Scryland, have a Scryland seems worth it here. All right, here we take Professor of Zoomancy. I do like Arcane Subtraction, but the Professor is hard to say no to. Yeah, I think another Leyline Invocation would be good at this point for this deck. I'd be interested in that. So we could also really use some more twos. So we're probably, I don't know that we're going to play these letters the way our deck's panning out. I mean, we do want to ramp, but we have enough ramp that isn't almost useless otherwise. That we probably don't play it unless we end up splashing a third color, which could happen. You know, we have the fixing to do it. So it could happen, but it's not super likely. Bookworm number 2 always makes me feel pretty good about this deck, so that'd be nice to do, but like I said, you know, the consolation prize is a second Leyline Invocation, or, you know, there's a few other cards that we could swing. Well, not a great pack for us overall. This isn't really worth splashing. It's way too finicky. Square up, I get it. You know, use it on a fractal. That's cute, but it just is harder to make line up than it looks. I think I'm more likely to play a second Befuddler than I am a square up. And we kind of do need more 2-drops, so the Befuddler's not bad in that situation. Yeah, it kind of looks like other people jumped into blue-green here late, which kind of sucks. Negate is surprisingly good in this format. I'm probably just going to take it here. I mean, there's just so many things to counter with it. Okay, this is a nice 2-drop to pick up late to help us try to get to our late game. This isn't a bad lesson, but I think we take the Pledge Mage. Yeah, I'll take another one. You know, our deck is lacking, I think it's lacking a couple of things to make it really good, and those are like one more thing to ramp into and more removal. Well, I guess I'll take 3 late Prismari Pledge Mages, though. Those should help us get to the late game pretty effectively. You know, they're a little tricky to cast, but not super tricky. You know, this isn't the worst thing. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, but if I needed something to ramp into, it could fill that role. I guess I'm going to grab this Muse. I don't think it's going to make the cut in the deck, but, you know. I don't think we're a big play deck, but it's what we'll grab here. Yeah, I do feel like this deck's a little underwhelming. Probably not running these letters, like I said. I think we have enough ramp for our plan. So, yeah. You know, we do have, you know, Dragon's Guard Elite, which can be sort of a late game card because of its ability. But I'm not loving this. Not bad, but not great either. We've certainly had worse decks. Better decks do worse than I would think this is going to do. So, yeah, it is 40 gems. Okay, so, we do need to find room for, you know, put a couple more spells in. Did I just put that Tangle Trap in? I'm not sure I want to do that. So we could put in 1 letter, I guess. That's not a complete disaster. It also means in really corner case situations that, like, for example, we could use Confront the Past if we had to against an opponent who had a Planeswalker or whatever. Yeah. So, we're not running Archway Commons, I can tell you that. It's not what we want. Okay. 40th card, what are you going to be? So we could put in Charge Through, which, like, with the Invocation creature could be nice. It also just cycles itself, which is reasonable. And Tangle Trap's not bad either. It's not always going to have targets. In fact, it frequently doesn't. I think we probably just put Charge Through in. Definitely not exciting, but it's fine. It'll also trigger, like, Magecraft easily. So we're at 9 and 9, which I think is enough for our Pledge Mage. Yeah. Don't feel great about this one. I've felt better about a lot of decks that haven't done real well lately, though. So who knows? This one will probably go 7-0 or something. Although the thing is, with most of our decks lately that haven't had good records, they haven't felt like bad decks, you know. They just haven't, you know. Either opponents had better decks or, you know, variance wasn't on our side. And, you know, that happens. Goes back and forth. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to crash Arena. Sloth versus Platypus. That'll do it. So we're all about Bookworm. And to a lesser extent, Leyline Invocation. I guess maybe we could have put that Biblioplex dude in so we could cast Invocation twice. That might be better than Crash Through, because we're really short on ramp payoffs. And having another Invocation, being able to buy it back and do it again, could be a pretty good late game swing. Should think about that. Okay, pretty good hand. I mean, we got the early creatures to slow things down. Got a little bit of ramp. So... Now we have even more ramp. Yes, let's play the Kelpie Guide here. Yeah, Cultivate is sweet in this format, and pretty much any format, for that matter. Okay, so... I could play another Pledge Mage here. Leaving up Negate doesn't seem like a horrible plan, but I think we'll play another Pledge Mage. This is a ramp payoff, by the way, that I'm not really counting, but it, you know, basically is one. So I'm glad we didn't leave up Negate, because it wouldn't have done anything, so. Okay, it's not... This isn't looking great, staring down that Wormhole Serpent. We may just end up throwing away our Letter of Acceptance for a card. It's probably what we're going to do. Probably draw our Worm when we do it. Yeah, I mean, this deck's lacking removal, too, so I'm a little, you know, this one... This one might not do super well. And it wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah, so we're going to throw this away to draw a card. I was joking, but it's really what happened. We drew a freaking Bookworm right after... right after that. Okay. 4, 5, 6. Serpentine Curve only makes a 1/1 right now. We do only need one more land, but... Yeah. Guess we're just passing and gonna get wrecked by these things. Get wrecked by all the things. Okay. No big deal. Our opponent's just like drawing a million cards. Okay, Quandrix Cultivator's pretty good here. Obviously. Let's grab a Forest. So... Yeah, we'll end our turn here. Variance is horrible at times, but I can't really blame this deck. Like, if this deck doesn't do well, it's because the draft didn't go that well. Which, you know, variance is part of that too, but not as big of a part. Alright, so we're going to negate that. Yeah. Do they negate my negate? It could happen. Okay, so we have 7 mana, and then we untap 1. And then we can play our Worm. Let's hope they don't have their counter magic. Oh god, they do. I can feel it. The good news is he can come back. Okay. Well, they don't have counter magic. That's good. That's good news. That is good news. Okay. We also have, you know, we have a little more ramp payoffs than I'm giving myself credit for because I keep forgetting about things like, you know, we have fractal summoning in our sideboard, for example. This deck might be a little better than I'm thinking overall. It's got problems, but may not be a complete train wreck the more I think about it. And, you know, we just won a game off a Bookworm, so it's a good start. You know, my opponent was at 20, so I don't know if I fully understand that, but, you know, once you get to a certain amount of mana, Bookworm does just win games, especially if you're not behind your opponent. And it's a tradition here at the stream for me to forget to switch scenes every time. I do love that worm. It might be my favorite card in the set. It's up there. It's unfortunate Lorehold isn't more fun or better because all those cards. I like Quintorius a lot too. I guess he's up there, but sweet little value engine. All right, we don't have green mana, but I do think we can keep this reasonably well. I mean, we're on the draw. We have interaction. So they might get run over by an aggro deck here. It's a definite possibility. So I think we just flash in the Befuddler here and don't take damage. It's not great, but, you know, adding to the board and preventing 1 damage for 2 mana. It'll make the cut. You know, it made the cut in this deck. That's an aggressive use of closing statement. Nice. Drawing that was really good. Because now we can go Biomathematician. Yeah, I do think we have more ramp payoffs than I was sort of feeling like when I was discouraged earlier. But I do still think we have a severe shortage of ramp. Not ramp. Removal. That could cost us. I think I'm just going to play the Aerialist here in the turn. Next turn we can play Kelpie Guide and leave up Negate. Oh no. Well, here's where our lack of removal is going to get us. Even Kelpie Guide doesn't effectively shut this thing down, so... You can have too much removal, for sure. It depends on the format. In some formats, you can really have too much. But, yeah. Oh, come on. Just put the counters on your guys and give me a 2-1. I guess they don't really want to do that, now that I think about it. Well, that is what they did. It's kind of what I thought they would do, but... Okay. Well... Hard to beat this bomb. But I guess we can try. Yeah, let's just play the Pledge Mage too. They decided not to give anybody anything that time. So I think we'll just take 6 here. This looks a lot like our last deck, except they have Shodrick Silverquill. You know, that's a pretty big upgrade. So this gets us to 7 lands. Which is 1 land away from Kelpie Guide at least being able to tap down Shodrick's every turn, but obviously everything else that's going on is kind of nightmarish, so... Nice. Okay, so I think we just live with the fact that some counters are going to go somewhere here. And kill that, and... Do we just take 6? Kind of think we do. Yeah. So if we drawn a land there, we might have had a chance. Not drawing a land, we're pretty much dead. I can cash this in real quick, but... which gives us another shot. Ooh, interesting. So we can at least use Kelpie Guide to tap down one of them, which does give us one more turn. So now we have the 8 lands we need for Kelpie Guide's ability. So they can give flying to something else and almost kill us here anyway, I guess, but... Negate has been pretty bad this game, overall. Which is pretty unusual in this format. And now we're dead, because we don't have a flyer or anything, so... Hard to beat your opponent when they have a amazing curve out that ends with Shodricks, you know? Good luck with that. Especially in a deck that doesn't have removal, or enough removal. We have, like... I think really all we have is Bury and Books. I think that's pretty much it. So... that's not so good. Thank you for the follow, Sunset in a Cup. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Kind of a more aggressive hand than we've seen so far. You know, minus the negate, anyway. Okay, so we want to get an island. Thank you for the follow, Sikorki. Take that island. Well, we do pretty desperately need to draw a 4th land now. So that would have been a really good start, because that would have made our other token into a 3/3. Our land into a 3/3. In addition to this. So it would have been big if we were allowed to do it. So 4th land would be really good, especially if it were an island. If we don't get it, we're just going to be leaving up negate, I guess. Ugh. Okay. Or, you know, playing Kelpie Guide. So, once again, you know, not having removal basically means Rutha is gonna really, really abuse us. So, you know. Right, there's the fourth land. Well, I think we attack with our Biomathematician. It's basically a free attack. You know, they do keep blocking it. It's unfortunate I can't punish them for doing it, but, you know. Oh, Rutha. You're so good. I feel like I've been seeing her a lot because I underrated her in my set review and she's punishing me. Okay, so let's attack with our Professor of Zoomancy here. And I guess Biomathematician. And we can leave up Negate if they try to do something wacky. Double Heated Debate would be bad, and it's pretty likely. Okay. So I think we'll negate the one that's targeting our Professor of Zoomancy. Yeah. Oh, it actually countered them both. How about that? I don't think I knew that would happen that way. Okay. Shouldn't the copy have already been made and thus still resolve? Seems like that should be how it works. Okay. Are you an instant? You are an instant, so I don't need to use you yet. I countered the original. Alright, so we're gonna untap this island and use Curate. I guess Waterfall Aerialist pressuring them into air is pretty real. I just want to draw both of these, I think. Yeah. Okay, so let's attack with the Professor here. I guess the way it copies is enough different from Storm. Like, if you're used to Storm, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's not the same as Storm. So I guess I'm going to play... Do I want to play the Elite and the Pledge Mage here? Or just play the Aerialist? I think we're going to go... Okay. So I was going to Serpentine Curve. Getting another land does sound kind of nice. I should probably still curve. Yeah. Gives us a 4/4. Yeah, I mean, now it's just a question of whether or not it's worth attacking this turn. I kind of don't think it is. They know I don't have anything, so they can just block with Rutha. I could attack with both 3/3s, but then they would kill my elite. Which I guess isn't the worst thing ever, now that I think about it. Like, getting the elite late, it's a lot harder to abuse. Especially when we don't have a bunch of mana. Yeah, let's attack with both of them. Yeah, that's kind of what we expected to happen, but I think just trading here and doing 3 is perfectly fine. Okay, well, attack here with the 4/4. So I think we probably just want to play the flyer here now, so we can pressure them in the air, 3-turn clock or less. Yeah. Alright, well, you know, variance was definitely on our side in that one, I think. It seems like anytime somebody has Rutha in play, they eventually find a card that can get them back from miles behind the opponent, but they didn't do it there. Alright, this is fine. Biomathematician into Professor of Zoomancy will feel pretty good, I think. It'd be cool to draw like our Dragon's Guard Elite or something to play on turn 2, but that's pretty greedy, you know. I've yet to see this really like do what it's supposed to do. It doesn't look like it's going to here, at least not immediately. So yeah, we're gonna play Biomathematician. Wish we had Natural Order in this deck, man. With all the tokens we have, the green tokens we have, would have been sweet. Play the Professor now. So, this is another card where our lack of removal might hurt us. We do, you know, Kelpie Guides can shut it down late, and Burying Books is also pretty good against it. But other than that, it's kind of tricky to make it work super effectively. So, let's attack with our Professor. There's an okay chance they can kill it with like a spell plus something else, but okay. Well, or they'll do that, which isn't a complete disaster. Mostly just because, you know, getting his ability again feels pretty good. All right, so let's play our letter, And our Kelpie Guide. Yeah, so we're not blocking at all here. There's way too much that could go wrong. Yeah, that's a big hit. This seems like an aggressive Quandrix deck, which can happen. I haven't seen it a lot, though. Okay. So, yeah, attack with everybody here. Then I think we go charge through to draw our Professor. Then we play the Professor. They're gonna come after us in the sky for sure here. You know, put that onto the Symmetry Sage and attack us for 5, I guess, is what it would be this turn. We need to draw our Varian books, or we could be in for some trouble. Yeah. Okay. Not looking great. We're gonna need to draw a way to interact, or we're dead, basically. I mean, we do have the kind of board where it's imposing enough that finding a way to remove one of their creatures is gonna have a huge impact, but so far we haven't done that. So I think we have to cash in this letter. A lot of good that did us, huh? So next turn we will be able to use the Kelpie Guide's ability, which will allow us to stop the Sage in the sky, but yeah. I think maybe I throw the pests at them here, or at least one. Gaining a little bit of life wouldn't hurt. And I can curve. I might as well curve too, just to go a little wider. So, yeah, let's attack with one pest here. See you later, Sloth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah. So they might just be able to kill us here, but if they can't, our Kelpie Guide might get us there. And by get us there, I mean make us not die. It won't win us the game single-handedly. But again, we do have a formidable enough board that we can hit pretty hard if Kelpie Guide is doing its thing. Uh-oh. So they're going to tap down the Kelpie Guide, so it won't be able to do its thing on our next turn. Or maybe they won't. Oh, it doesn't matter as much now because they have 2 flyers. They do have 2 flyers here. It still matters. I mean, it'll still buy us one more turn at least. Oh my. 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a great draw because we get to play our 8th land, which will allow us to shut down, you know, shenanigans with our Kelpie Guide, and we'll be playing Bookworm, which will gain us life and draw us a card. That gives us a real chance here. So let's send one pest at them again. I think it matters enough. You know, gaining the 1 life matters enough. And any bit of damage we can do against them also matters. So... Alright, let's hope they don't have counter magic, huh? Aha! They do not. So this next turn, we might actually be able to win now. Depends what they have, of course. That's always true. But if we tap down Symmetry Sage here... and we will... Can you do 7 to us? Kinda doesn't look like you can. You'll be able to soon, though. Yeah, that doesn't help a whole lot. So what happens here? If I tap this down, it dies. So that's cool. That's probably the move. I mean, they do get a lesson out of it. But the other option is to tap down Quandrix's Pledge Mage and swing out. Except for with Kelpie Guide. Because obviously it'll be tapping something down. But if we do that... If we do that, we take 7 in the air next turn. So... that is not optimal. Yeah, they could have Burying Books, which will wreck us. I mean, I guess because I have 1 more turn, maybe I'll wait them out. 1 more turn. Yeah... We're gonna get to Scry. I mean, I could attack with my Bookworm, I guess. That's probably worth it. So they did have the berry, as suspected. Yeah. So they would have wrecked us if we tried to swing out there. Oh, good. More unblockable damage. Just what I was hoping for. So the Dream Strix would die, but they'd also get a lesson. So I guess we'll go after Symmetry Sage again here. So we can scry and redraw our worm. So that's a thing. Does that buy us enough time? It does. 3, 5, 7. I don't think that buys us enough time. Because it'll take me up to 7 life. But then they can hit me. Tap this down. Yeah. So I guess maybe Curate's our best bet here. We will have 10 mana, 11 mana, technically. So maybe Bookworm plus Bury Books. That's probably the only way we can survive anyway, so... what is happening here? Here we go. No? Why is it not letting me... Oh. No? What do I need to click on here? I don't understand what's happening. Well, we're about to be... Yay! Just what we wanted to happen. I don't know what happened there. Alright, let's curate. I wish I could draw them both. Okay, is it seriously doing this to me again? Yeah. Sure. So, see, if Curate had gone to the bottom like I wanted it to, I would have played Bookworm, gone to 7, and then the Befuddler would have saved us for one more turn. So that's really annoying. Because the Befuddler would have left us at 1 life, right? Because we would have tapped down this, I guess, and taken... Yeah, we would have gone to 1. And that one more turn really would have mattered. So that's frustrating. Maybe I need to issue a report. Because now we're dead. So... yeah. Report a bug. It doesn't matter that he has to make some blocks, though. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do enough to not die. They would have just thrown, yeah, Zamone in front of the, you know, it wouldn't have mattered. Here, have a lesson. Enjoy. And we're dead, but we would have been at 1 and maybe even won the game. Yay! That was a lot of fun. Because if they'd attacked like that and we went to 1, it's rough. I'm sure if to report a bug, I have to go through all kinds of silliness. Yeah, all kinds of silliness. I'll do it later. Okay, well that was frustrating. You know, we've lost a lot of ways this weekend. But, I mean, it's possible I wasn't clicking in the right place, but I tried to click on everything and still it didn't do what we wanted it to. Oh, so I screwed that up too. So if I had actually tapped down that bird on that turn, We also would have been at 1 life. So, you know. Do I lead with Dragon's Guard Elite? I kind of don't think so, given this situation. That's a Lightning Helix. So I think we play another Pledge Mage here. Clearly they saw a 3-3 as enough of a roadblock. Okay. Well. Let's play our Elite here. And then we're going to try to Burog Befuddler. Blood Age General. Oh boy. So there's a decent enough chance that what they have here is the 1-mana trick, but I think we still go for the block. Nice. It worked. That's good news right there, to have that actually work. Anytime you can get a card with Befuddler, it feels pretty great. So, we'll get an island. And we'll play a forest. Bye, Dragon's Guard Elite. You did your job, though, as far as I'm concerned. Would have been nice to hold on to you till I drew this field trip, of course, but, you know. Alright, so... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's attack with both our creatures here. I cast Field Trip. Just summoning a 2/2 Fractal doesn't seem terrible here. But I think maybe just elemental summoning will be... Or just getting the Fractal, playing Letter of Acceptance, and casting a big Fractal next turn. That seems pretty good. Because it'll be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 Fractal. Yeah, I think that was probably the right call. Oh, Combat Professor. You're so good. It's another one of my favorite cards in the set. Okay, so... Cultivator attacks here. And yeah, we just play a huge Fractal. I mean, we could consider... What do we have? We have 9 mana. So... Maybe making a 4/4 and playing Biomathematician is better. 4, 8, 9. That might just be better in terms of going wide. Yeah. Yeah. Still gives us a 5/5, so... So let's see if we can not die. You know, that's the risk here. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Kind of think we just bury and books the professor and attack here. Yeah. We could cash in our letter if we want to. So yeah, let's bury and books professor. See if that works for us. Attack with everything. Okay, they kill the big boy. That makes me a little gladder I didn't go for one really big fractal. That would have been bad. So they could block the 1/1 for free here. I don't know why they wouldn't. I guess they want to take down something bigger. Well, I think that works for us. We eliminate their board presence entirely, and we still have lethal on board. I think we cash in the letter at the end of their turn. We actually have enough mana that even if we draw our worm off our letter, we can play it. So that's good. Earlier we went for the letter and then drew the worm off of it, and we couldn't play it. But we could have if we had left the letter in play. Okay. They're definitely not playing like an aggro deck right now, are they? Combat Professor just got shuffled away. I don't think I hate that. Nice. Okay, so we attack for 4 here. Make a huge fractal. See what they can do. So they have to block both our 9/9 and our 3/4 or die. So may as well attack with all and drop them to 2. Because if they don't block this, they're dead. If they don't block this, they're dead. So they have to block both of them and take 1. It's the only way they don't die. Yeah. Alright, looks like we got there. Oh yeah, we're actually 3-2. I wonder whether we would have won that game if we got bugged out. Never know. So yeah, we're 3-2, not 3-1, unfortunately. Alright, this looks pretty good. I mean, another island would be nice, but for our Pledge Mage. But, you know, maybe we'll draw one. Next turn we can leave up Negate and Pledge Mage. I mean, and Curate. Is that what I want to do now that I drew Quandrix? Probably. Probably. Because I could still play the other one next turn and then play the tap land. Yeah. Works for me. I doubt there's something we're going to want to negate, but you never know. You're both kind of not what I'm interested in. Yeah, I think we throw these both in the graveyard. Okay. Well, now, I think we play our Pledge Mage. So, another black-white aggro deck that could certainly run us over here. Because we don't have anything that great to ramp into right now, I'm sort of leaning towards... Yeah, we'll play our Professor of Zoomancy. Too bad they can cast at this turn. If they couldn't, we would have known we had a negate target, which always feels pretty good, knowing you have one. Okay, so we can actually play the Cultivator and leave up negate this turn, which I don't hate. Let's deck with our Professor. And then we're going to play an island. You can get a forest or an island, yes. So... play the Cultivator. Grab a forest. Leave up negate. Hope they play a spell that we can negate. If they do that, it's gonna feel really good. No guarantee they do, of course. Let's negate that. I don't really want them drawing a card. I don't really want the counter happening. You know, if they have removal, that probably would have been a little better. But Guiding Voice is a problem, you know. So, it is a surprisingly strong card. Would I have rather countered an Inkling Summoning? Maybe. But, you know. Alright, so these both attack. Actually, so do you. Okay, Kelpie Guide. You're gonna be able to tap stuff soon, as in next turn. Uh-oh. That makes it feel like they can probably kill us, right? I mean, if they're gonna go that aggressive, I feel like that's what it has to mean. Yeah, so they... 4, 7, 8, 11... Yeah, I can't kill them because... And then they'll be able to give the Professor flying next turn and kill us. If our Kelpie Guide had survived, we would have been okay, but obviously that's not what happened. Okay, that actually gives us one more turn, probably. If they have any way to put a counter on their guy, it doesn't, but... that might give us a turn. Oh, we know that they have that, so of course they can. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, 3 and 3 is not the worst, given how this weekend is largely gone. And one of the losses, was bug related, but I'm not sure we would have won anyway. I will take a 3-3. I think that deck kind of overachieved at 3-3. You know, the Kelpie Guides definitely, you know, sort of counted as removal, and that's what made it a little better than I thought, maybe, but, you know, that deck wasn't great.